Okay, good evening to you all. Welcome to Masai School. Masai School, a transformation in education where you all learn to earn pay when you get. As you're all aware that Masai School is a 21st century career-focused coding school. We are on a mission to find untapped or underutilized talent and to skill them for the most demanding jobs in the world. Three areas that we focus on: building industry relevant skill. Students don't pay anything until you are hired, and we always focus on holistic development. You must be wondering, why is that a coding school is interested in a holistic development? The genesis for this is when we were about to start this coding school. Pratik, Drupul, and me, we went to corporates and trying to figure out what are your expectation for hiring our students. And they came out very strongly saying that there are three things that we expect in our students. First and foremost, we expect them to be a competent programmer. Then we asked them, what does this competent programmer is all about? It's very easy to say we want competent programmer. They all said that we need them to be good in their coding skills. Aha. They all gave different stacks. Somebody said MERN stack, somebody said LAMP stack, somebody said Java, React, etc., etc. Then something very interesting came up when we discussed with them even more in detail. It is not just the coding skill. They said we want our people joining us good in communication skill, good in collaboration skill, ability to work in teams, ability to collaborate in teams. And they went on saying that they must be having flexibility, adaptability. All these are nothing but soft skills is what they're looking for. And they also said that we want our programmers to have programmer mindset. Then when we deep dive into it, what they meant was they want team members who are proactive, adaptable, flexible, continuous learning, all these things. That's what they wanted to do. That is how we said that we're going to give a holistic learning for our students. And as you all know that Masai School is a skill development. Our focus is on skill development because we believe that skill is greater than knowledge. And you must have seen the various tweets that is coming out from either from Pratik or from Masai School Twitter handle. We always believe that skills are greater than knowledge. Now, when we distilled a little more in detail, skills can be broadly classified into two. One is a hard skill, the other one is a soft skill. Now, what is a hard skill, friends? Hard skill is the specific knowledge and abilities that is required to perform a particular job or a task in hand. For example, it could be someone like a secretary in an office, or a dentist performing a dental work, or a web developer performing front end and back end. Now, these are all hard skills. Typically, if you look at hard skills, they are defined, evaluated, and measured. Now, these are hard skills. Now, what are soft skills? Now, the term soft skills has different meanings to different set of people. In fact, it is very, very fuzzy. When you go and talk to people on soft skills, they give different interpretation. Actually, the term soft skill was coined by US military way back in 1970. They said that their cadets, apart from hardcore military skills, combat skills, they must also have soft skills. That is where it got coined, and it has got evolved over the last 50 years. Then the corporate said that anybody is having customer interface, may it be sales or customer service, should have soft skills. Then they said that all leaders should possess soft skills. Come early 20th century and early post 2010, even the tech people started demanding, say that, hey, soft skills are required not just for customer facing, everyone required in the organization. Now, we at Masai looks at soft skills in a very holistic way. It is a combination of deployable individual skill set, tool set, and mindset that enables them to navigate the given environment, work well with people, perform the jobs well, and achieve goals in a complementing hard skills. That means when you have this set of skill set, tool set, and mindset, it helps you to navigate the work environment, work effectively with people, achieve goals with complementing hard skills. Hard skill is the foundation. Hard skill is what gets you into the job. But if you don't have soft skills, you cannot perform well in the job, grow in the job, interact with the people. So the genesis for this holistic development came from that we at Masai School will invest 100 hours in our students to build their soft skills. And the research after research have shown that 85% of success in the job comes from soft skills and 15% in hard skills. And this is the research conducted by 3 Ivy colleges in the United States of America, the Harvard, the Stanford, and Carnegie Mellon. So what we did in Masai School before we launched this program, we distilled upon further. We interacted with a lot of CHROs, the CTOs, and also the hiring partners to understand what are the different skill set, tool set, and mindset that are required. We received close to some 100 plus things that are required. We said that we will bring it down to a programmer, and this is what that came out. The skill set included communication skills, interpersonal skills, problem solving skills, teamwork and collaboration, remote working, and remote collaboration skill. And then in terms of tool set, we said we'll give them critical thinking, creative thinking, ability to use social media platform like LinkedIn, Twitter, and Medium, and mindset of marathon mindset, 7 habits of highly effective students, programmer mindset, achievement orientation, and so forth. So you must have a question in mind. While you talk about skill set, tool set, and mindset, is there a formula? Is it plus plus or into? Very difficult to say that, but we arrived at this particular equation, and this equation looks something like this: a skill set plus tool set into mindset. Now that is where we are saying emphasize heavily on our student why mindset is extremely important in order to get that job, in order to do well in that job. Because you might have the requisite skill set and tool set, but if you don't have a mindset, that multiplier effect will not come. So a good emphasis is there on all 3 areas. In fact, we at Masai School have stopped calling them as soft skills. They are your catalytic skills or life skills. They are the skills that are power skills that will help you to do well in the job, grow well in the job. And of course, this entire soft skills is a developmental journey. And day in and day out, we keep learning it. So that's the background on the entire Skillathon initiative at Masai School. But I want to cover a specific skill today, which is getting extremely important. And I want you guys to figure out what is that skill that we are going to cover today. Now, I want to show you a couple of pictures here. This is the image 1 that I'm going to show you, and this is the image 2. What do you think that they are doing? Can you use your chat boxes and use the chat box and type to us saying that what is it that they're likely doing? I'm sure some of you are already doing this. Can you tell me what is the chat box that they're doing here? Okay, they are communicating. Okay, can you go one step further and tell me what is it that they could be doing? Yeah, they're definitely communicating. Can you expand it a little more, Krishnadas? Yeah, you can attempt it. Okay, okay, fair enough. Actually, what they're doing is they're doing a virtual presentation, virtual meeting. Absolutely. Sandeep Babu got it. It is not just communicating. They are in a virtual meeting, virtual communication, or maybe he's presenting a project to his team, or he could do anything. So friends, what we are going to share in the next 20 minutes or so, how can one do a effective virtual presentation? It could be a project or it could be a hackathon. So in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to give you some best practices, some guidelines that towards virtual presentation. So let's start on this topic. So typically what happens, friends, it is sad to stay 1, 2, 3, or even few weeks building something awesome, right? You guys are already doing that, and only to bomb the demo presentation. It happens, isn't it? You work in the hackathon for 3 nights. On the demo day, it doesn't go well. Possible? I'm not talking about technical glitches here. I'm talking about the entire presentation didn't go well. Or it is no surprise it happens that you are exhausted, racing to finish your project, and you have a very little time to plan your presentation. And typically in a virtual presentation, you get around 5 minutes to 7 minutes. The best case scenario is 10 minutes. The question to ask is, how do I use this 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever time is given to me, to make an outstanding presentation so that I create an impact on my audience, create an impact on the influencer, and get that objective going, right? Possible? Now, here are some inputs that I'm going to give you to make a very good hackathon presentation or a virtual presentation that you're going to go there. Before we start, I want to give you a powerful quote which Gregory Burns says that a person can have the greatest idea in the world, but if that person can't convince enough other people, it doesn't matter. And Gregory Burns was the para Olympic gold medal winner, and he after that he went on to become a presentation expert, because he felt that unless you may have the greatest idea, but if you cannot convince others, it doesn't matter. Many a times you have seen that in the meeting, you have a great idea, but you're not able to present it across, and it doesn't carry the weightage. Now, apart from that, you all know that you're going through the entire COVID-19 pandemic situation. Now, many companies, what they have decided is they are going to work remotely, or already doing it, or they're going to continue doing this for some time or the other. You must have seen these posts coming out in the social media or in the newspaper, including service-based company like TCS have decided that they're going to 75% of their 4.5 lakh people are going to work remotely. Facebook is planning to do work from home. 75,000 IBM India employees will permanently work from home, right? Apart from that, Amazon said that they'll continue to work till October, and this information was released in June. If you ask them today, they may say that till the end of rest of 2020, Google has already said that even at Masai School, we have moved our team to online till December 2020, both the staff and the online student. There was a wonderful study that was conducted in terms of suitability of remote work by industry, and you will see that in terms of the ITES industry is the most suitable for remote work jobs. So you can expect this remote working, remote presentation to be part and parcel when you all start working here. So remote hiring, remote onboarding, remote working is going to be the new norm. And you must all be wondering that good old days used to be like this, where you used to make a presentation to an audience, a room was blocked in advance, and you go and make a presentation on your project. But you will be getting into this mode very quickly, where in which you could be in Bangalore, your CTO could be sitting in Chennai, the CEO could be somewhere else, and somebody else coming from across the globe, different time zone, and then you will be making a virtual project presentation happening. And in this scenario, your ability to make an impact is very, very, very crucial, right? So all I'm trying to say is you must develop the ability to adapt. As this great man said, Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. So humongous changes happened because of COVID, right? Now, pandemic, and it is going to stay there for some time, and because of which a lot of behaviors are going to change. The companies are going to change. So it is time that we adapt and rise. We adapt our ability to make virtual presentation effectively. So I'm going to give you 10 tips for effective virtual presentation. If you go online, you talk to people, each one can give a big, big laundry list. I have distilled it down to 10 effective virtual presentation. Are you all keen to know what are these 10 tips? If it is yes, please use your chat box and type yes, and let's start. I just want to know that you're all curious to learn, because curiosity is the most important ingredient if you want to learn something. Otherwise, I can get the best of the presenters in the world, share their knowledges, and it just goes from this year to this year. I don't want that to happen. I want you to learn this, practice this skill, become really good at it, and start creating impact into getting into a job or doing the job and climbing up the ladder. So how these 10 tips are? They're broken down into two parts. One part A is what you should do before the presentation, and part B is what is it that you have to do during the presentation. Okay, so I'm breaking it down into two parts. One is before the presentation, that is the preparation part. The other one is during the presentation, the presentation moment. So let's start with part A. It's all about getting ready. As there is a famous quote which goes that the 5P, proper preparation prevents poor performance. That is what I've insisted with you. You guys spend 3 days, 5 days, 1 week putting that project together, but you don't give enough time to prepare for that presentation. That is the danger. Till 12 o'clock, you'll be fixing the bug, you'll be checking that, and you have not prepared for it. Now, go back to what Gregory Burns said. You may have the greatest idea in this world, but if you cannot convince enough others, it doesn't matter. So, apart from preparing for getting your project ready, you must keep good amount of time you need to get ready. Okay, so let's start. What are those 10 tips that I'm going to give? Tip number 1 coming up here. So, tip number 1, the first tip is check your infra. Check your infra. These are your hygiene factors. I'm going to give you some 7 or 8 hygiene factors. Hygiene factor number 1 is your microphone. Please check your microphone. Is the voice clarity clear? Is it going across? If not, invest in a good USB mic. What I have done is the same. I've invested in a USB mic. Because of this, the voice clarity goes very nicely. Or you can also use a headphone if required, but don't make it look too big as though you're in a cockpit, because it will become very distractive for the audience to see. Get some decent size headphone if it is required. Ideally is this USB mic. If you can get one, it is fine. Otherwise, headphone is good enough, but don't make it too bulky, saying that this is Captain Sandeep Babu taking off. Don't do that. Okay. The second one is your headphones. That is what I was talking about it. The third most neglected one is a webcam. So when you start the presentation, you should switch on your webcam and you should introduce yourself very nicely and make sure that the background is very clear. The lighting is good when you're making a presentation, like what I have made sure that the lighting is good. The background is decent. You can have a plain background or you can have some books behind, like what you see here, but don't have disturbing things behind that. Make sure your internet connection is good. Have at least a backup plan. If this Wi-Fi goes away, do you have a dongle or a hotspot that can get connected? Make sure enough power is there. Charge your laptop in full, and don't say that, oh God, I'm out of power. All these are all no, 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 no. That is why I mentioned it as a hygiene factor. People are not going to say, oh, he had power, he had internet, he had a good background. But when you don't have it, people are going to say that, oh, look at his background, look at the lighting, look at the webcam, it is not good. That is why it is called hygiene factor. People don't praise you for hygiene, but lack of hygiene can be a dampener. Turn off all notification. No Slack, no WhatsApp. Turn off everything which is on your system and turn off unwanted windows. And all this would help you to deliver high quality presentation. So first one, check your infra, the hygiene factors, because time spent on adjusting equipment is very boring to the audience. Imagine after logging in, oh, is it? My wife is not okay. Huh? Some notification is coming. Huh? Oh, it has come now for restart. Oh, just give me a moment. All these are no-no. Professionalism is very important. Okay. Make sure you're on the webcam. I want to give you some inputs. The light should come from opposite side. The light should not come from behind, or it will be like a Buddha effect. The light should not come from the top either. The light should come from across. It should come onto you. The webcam should be at the eye level. Don't place your webcam at any other level. If you have a webcam, look at the eye. Look at the eye of the webcam. Imagine that the person is there, like how I'm speaking to you. When you do that, there is a connect. The only way in the virtual presentation is you can connect through the webcam. So make sure that don't look up, don't look down, don't look left, don't look right. The confidence is shown through your eyes. So make sure you look at the webcam. So tip number 2 is the dry run. Can somebody tell me what do you mean by a dry run? Dry runs? Can someone tell me what is a dry run using a chat box there? Absolutely. The practice that you need to do, right? It is called as a dry run. Do you think Virat Kohli will just go and start playing the shots? No, he'll do some dry run. He'll have some practice session, net practices. Similarly, a bowler does net practices. That is very important. Make sure you do several dry runs. I would recommend at least 5 dry runs. You must do a 5 dry runs and record it on a Zoom and watch it. How does it sound? How does it sound? And in fact, attempt a couple of dry runs with your colleague. Suppose you are a project team member, show it to another project team member. Similarly, invite him to show it to you. Do several dry runs. Friends, it is a 5 to 7 minute presentation. How much time is it going to take to do all this? Half an hour? Worth it. Worth it. Because the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. As Norman Schwarzkopf said that he was a general during the Gulf War. It became very popular. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So do some dry runs. Don't go and demonstrate your project on the day when it is in front of the audience or the judges. Please do that. I'm going to give you a fantastic hack. Are you ready for receiving one fantastic hack? Which you would love it and you will thank me for this. Most of the time, what happens is when you start making a presentation, there is a bit of an anxiety and stress. How many of you go through this when you make a presentation? If it is yes, please type yes. You have anxiety and stress. I have it. Everybody has it. It would be foolhardy to say that I don't have any anxiety and stress. But how does one overcome? There is a hack. Incredibly simple, powerful hack I'm going to give you, and you're going to thank me when at the end of the presentation saying that Yogesh, thank you so much for giving me this hack. What is this hack? Before you start the presentation, take 3 deep breaths and smile. That is one thing you need to do. And the second thing is as you keep inhaling, you say, I am relaxed. I am relaxed. You know what happens? Whenever you come make a presentation, whether it is a stand-up or a virtual presentation you make, there is a monkey that comes at the back of you and it wants to take the control over you. That is why this anxiety and stress formation is there. So all you need to do is take 3 deep breaths. As you're inhaling, say I am. As you're exhaling, say relaxed. I am relaxed. I am relaxed. I am relaxed. It works. Try it out and tell me if it doesn't work. I will take back my hack. And if it works, you need to thank me. And drink some warm water. Don't drink cold water before presentation because voice is the only way it can show confidence. And if you drink cold water, your throat will be dampening. So drink some warm water. This is another hack I'm giving you. People are not comfortable with warm water. Room temperature water is also okay. I normally have a flask next to me to drink warm water before a presentation because keeping your throat moist is important. You're on the stage, right? When you're on the stage, you need to make sure that all these small things are happening. So 3 things, friends, as a part of preparation: hygiene factors, you take care; trial runs, the dry runs, and the hack to overcome anxiety. If you do these 3 things, you are ready. Proper present preparation prevents poor performance. You are ready now to go to part B. Now that is during the presentation. There is only one goal in during the presentation is to create impact. When you create impact, the resistance is low, acceptance is high. Right? How do you create impact? How do you create impact? There are 3 C's that you need to demonstrate to create impact. The first C is confidence. You must come across as a very confident about your project, about your demo, and about yourself. The second one is you're extremely comfortable in presenting the project, extremely comfortable navigating the project, extremely comfortable taking questions. And when you do that, it shows you are in control of what you are doing. There is no other secret to it. Confidence, comfort, control. When you do this 3 C's, you will create impact. Right? Obviously, your project has to be good. I'm not saying you have a lousy project and you have these 3 C's. It is a browder, right? People will figure it out very quickly. Now, I'm saying that you have a good project. How do you make that impact is what that we're talking about. Okay, so tip number 4: start with a proper greeting and introduction. Very important, right? You must say an appropriate greeting. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and greetings is very important. Introduce yourself and others in the team members. Good evening, everybody. This is Yogesh. I'm from the Project Alpha Group, and along with me, I have Shankar. Thank you so much for this opportunity to present our project. Inform your team name if it is relevant. So, greeting, introduce yourself and your team member and the team name. Ideally, one person should do. Don't give this jugalbandi thing that I'm Yogesh, then you pause, the other person says I'm Shankar. It would be a little difficult. One of you present it. Okay, both of you can be on in the camera, one of you can present it, or make sure that the transition is very smooth. Most important is share your enthusiasm to connect. You can't say, good morning, everybody, myself, Yogesh, and my colleague, look at him, and that guy turns around, Shankar, and our team is Alpha. Where is the enthusiasm? You have worked 5 days, you have created something, you have built something, right? There has to be an enthusiasm. You must be excited through your facial expression, voice, smile, and everything. Tip number 5: quickly set the scene. What is it that you're going to give you? What is the problem statement that was given to you? And what are you building here? And who are the users? And highlight the key tech stacks used here. Quickly set the scene. That is very important. Don't take a lot of time. Quickly, don't go and show landing pages and things like that. Quickly set the scene. The problem statement given to us was this: we wanted to build this for this particular usage. The users for this are so and so. The tech stack that we used are, if required, you put a slide. The tech stack used are, we use for front end Angular and Bootstrap and CSS, and for backend we used Node Express, whatever it is. That gives a clarity to the listener, saying that, oh, this is what the problem statement was given, this is what they're building, and this is the tech stack that they have used. So beautifully, you're getting comfortable. You have started steering this entire presentation. Slowly, you have started creating the impact. Once this is set, the next is obviously what you wanted to show, which you've been building it over the last 3, 5, 7 days, right? Now is your demo. Say that, welcome, let me start taking with your landing pages and show both the end user and admin user if applicable. But don't get into the mundane things like, this is how you do a login, and don't do it. Quickly make sure that you move this, no need for explanation. Skip mundane flows such as creating username and credential. Focus on functionality and features. Keep 2 F's, functionality and features. That is what the project is all about, right? Demonstrate the responsiveness of the website that you have created. Whatever do, it is crucial to show what your project does and that you have completed the key components of it. Recently, I attended one of the project presentation. I think it was Sandeep and his team. They put up a nice slide on the functionalities. They said that this is what the functionality aspect is all about. And it came out very, very strongly just because they used a slide to show the functionalities. Everybody was very clear what is happening. Friends, you're showing a trailer in 5 minutes. How do you expect the audience to understand everything? A small slide like this can help you. Once you have given this demo of a working project, make sure while doing that, there is a strong linkage and flow. Don't go haphazardly. There has to be a logic, strong linkage when you move from one page to another page. Do not jump from one page to another page haphazardly. Make sure that the presentation flows smoothly, no awkward pauses or saying too much in one area. That is why dry runs are important. That is why listening to your recording and seeing it is important. That is why presenting to your colleague is important. When you do that, you'll realize that, hey, I'm spending too much on that landing page, which is not of much importance. I must spend here. So I've been talking about three C's: confidence, comfort, and control. There are few things that you must do well apart from showing all these linkages, structure, and substance. It is the style. Speak slowly, don't speak fast, but be assertive in the way you're saying. Your voice, your most powerful virtual tool, it demonstrates confidence. Don't shout, don't be too meek. At an appropriate level is what is required. Smile and be relaxed. It takes only 22 muscles to smile and 72 to frown. You have created something. You must have the joy of showing. And smile is one of the way that you can show that you have created. Use hand gestures like what I'm saying. Don't be like this and like a military position and start presenting. Use some hand gestures. Relax. Relaxation is very important. I've been telling you again and again, look at the webcam. Pause for absorption. When something very interesting that you have shown, pause for 1 to 2 seconds. Pause for absorption, not for you, for the audience. Because if you are like a Shatabdi train, then it will be very difficult. And of course, show that you're excited about your project and stick to your time. Very important. Sticking to the time is extremely important. Enthusiasm in your voice is key to a more engaged audience. And as I've been telling, start on time, end on time. Everyone's time is valuable and needs to be respected, right? So all these are going up nicely. You're coming to almost to a conclusion. Quickly, you need to wrap up. Ending is as important as a start. I don't know how many of you have run 100 meters or a 400 meters. It is not just that start, but also that end is also very important. Remember that PT Usha lost the bronze medal because of one hundredth of a second. They said that if her nose was a little longer, she could have won a medal in athletics for India. So ending is important. Highlighting its potential use case is important. And not necessarily that you would have done complete project. You would have always wanted some of the features to include. You can always say that what is the next ambitious level that you have for this project, and always thank the panel and the judges for the opportunities to present. That is how you wrap it up. And wrapping should not take more than 20 to 30 seconds. And just pause. Allow to ask questions. Now, allowing people to ask questions show that how much of control you have on the project, right? So, and one good thing is you must mentally be ready. What kind of questions might come in this project? That is why showing this project to another group, they can ask you some questions. Showing it to your technical lead can help you to understand these questions. And don't panic when somebody asks questions, right? Just don't panic. Just relax. Just relax. They're not expecting you a perfect answer. Listen to the whole question well. I have seen many a times you don't allow that person to ask question and you interrupt. Sometimes that person who is asking the question might give the answer by himself. So let him give it. So relax, understand the context, take few seconds to respond and don't rush, don't react. Respond concisely, check if satisfied, and you tell them if you're not very sure how it can be done, we'll get back to you very soon on. Oh, thank you for this question. At the moment, I am not have the answer. I'll get back to you very soon. It's perfectly fine, right? Now, let's wrap up what we have learned so far in the last 20 minutes or so on this entire presentation of virtual. Projects, hackathon are all about bringing ideas to life in a very short time frame. Audience and judges understand that there is only a limited time amount to build a complete and functional project. Bugs won't lose you a hackathon or a project or a rejection. If I can leave you with one piece of advice, it is allocate more time to practice and prepare your virtual presentation. And don't let the 3-5 minutes of presentation time undo all the hard work and sleepless nights you had. So, final thought that I want to give you before ending this presentation is practice well. Keep all these points that I had shared with you. And most important is you must enjoy this opportunity. And I wish you good luck in order to have an effective virtual presentation. And if you learn all the 10 tips that I had given you and you practice it and imbibe it, what you get is 3 C's. That is what Skillathon is all about. You become very confident about virtual presentation. You become very comfortable doing the virtual presentation, and you come across very much in control. So uh, if you ask me, how do you start this journey? The distance is nothing. It is the first step that is difficult. But unfortunately, most people readily accept principles but resist its practice. So I want you to go today and start practicing all the inputs that I had shared with you. When you do this, there's a perfect balance of hard skills and soft skills for computer programming. So thank you so much for this opportunity to share my thoughts on 10 tips that will help you in your virtual presentation. And I open the question and answer session, and let's do in detail discussion around it.